More inventory work. Yeah, what does that mean? We got an invitation for Evocati, which is pretty interesting because we do not know why we got an invite, and we still don't know if we even should follow the invitation, if you will, because we do not like disclosures. That is like something like hiding something, right? We do not like that idea of hiding something, but we already know that for some particular topics it is relevant to have a disclosure for a certain amount of time before you go public, let's say, because especially here around Star Citizen the community is somewhat sometimes difficult, and our curiosity is really big, so we are wondering if we should do the NDA. But even if we do, we fuck. Boy, almost a little bit too fast. Did they change something with the flight behavior? No idea. What's that? Boxes. Why the fuck we can't ping? Yeah, why the fuck we can ping, but for whatever reason. Waste. Yeah, we are super curious about what to find out. Yeah, they are talking about being actively involved in issue councils and Spectrum. We don't do neither of them. We don't spend time in issue council basically at all, and we also don't really spend time in Spectrum or on Spectrum. So another thing is, now we are in... Is there someone coming? Do you see that? It's just hanging around. Now we have here, it seems like as if we are 5 people on this server. No idea about the server configuration. 157 are in the chart, and we have, yeah, it goes up and down, but we have something like 20 frames. But it doesn't feel like, and we had been on Rustville. We went down below 10 frames. It was a pain. And now we are here at Jackson Swap. It doesn't really look like as if anybody is here. We had seen some ship markers. We couldn't ping, we couldn't scan, we couldn't target. But we also would say there is not much. What's that? There's not much going on here. "18 frames. It's not a joy, and we are in PU, not PTU, and also not pre-PTU. Why should we go into Evocati if the experience is even worse? Inventory work. We go to commodity terminals. Oh, look at that, we can buy comports. Max inventory, that is great. We do inventory work where we note all the commodities we can buy, where, to what price, and this looks like this. We say we buy waste, comports, RMCs, and waste here at Jackson. Max inventory, which is always good. We can buy for 229 30,000. Who comes over here and buys 30,000 SEUs of waste? No idea. But we had seen waste boxes outside, so somebody does. Comports 2 SEUs, the biggest size. And the interesting thing here is 72. 72 SEUs divided by 2 is 36. 36 boxes if we would buy everything. Yes. And what can we sell here? We can. I thought we could sell more, but we haven't been here for a while. Because usually we don't go to Jackson Swap for commodity trading. There is a big list we can sell here, which is great, and sometimes they have even a very good price compared to other locations here in Stanton. No, not here in Stanton, here in Pyro, but it is just a risk. Jackson Swap is a risky place. First of all, it is, was it? No, Headhunters. I think it was Headhunters territory, so that is one thing. The other thing is the location itself, how the situation is. We can have a look outside. We are surrounded with rocks, rock formation, so easy spots to hide for snipers. At least our experience was there are a lot of PvPers around here. And a lot of people say there are a lot of PvPers also at Shepherd's Rest and Saquon's Blood. And we have to disagree, kinda. I mean, we had our experience at Shepherd's Rest. There are sometimes a lot of griefers. That is something what we noticed. And sometimes even pirates. We wouldn't mind the pirates. The pirates increase, let's say, our trading operation. They give some variation into our commodity trading experience. But the griefers are a pain. Peter. Proton. Still on, yeah, so the list is quite big here. Anyways, but we thought it would have been bigger. At least we remember it was bigger. $16 SEUs. We can go really quick here. Diamond laminate. There are not so many places where you can sell diamond laminites. But someone brought diamond laminites over here, which is interesting. For whatever reason, we never would do that. We would bring it to Saquon's Blood. Saquon's Blood, we don't even know the price. The reason why we go to Saquon's Blood is because of the Shepherd's Mass trade run. But in general, it looks like, I mean, of course, we are shortly before the patch drop. We had seen patch didn't drop today, and eventually it also wouldn't drop tomorrow, but that would mean next week. And so we kind of understand that a lot of people don't commodity trading anymore, as we don't do anymore, just because it would be a too big risk to lose commodities later on just because we bought too much. And we don't buy just one batch buy and bring it over to the selling location and sell all, because the effort is too big for too less profit. And so we want to really scale. We want to scale our trading operation, and that is not something that we can do when we are short before a patch drop. And when we look money-wise, we can say we are quite okay. We had 140, 150 more or less through earned money, and then someone gave us unasked 150 mil. And a lot of people would say, oh, that is awesome, I would like to have 150 mil for whatever reason. But for us, it's not that really great that we got 150, because that brings our numbers upside down. So we do not know, or we need, as soon as we had movement on our digital central bank account, now we do not know what kind of money is actually true earned money and which one is from the other guy who just gave us a lot of money. That is the main issue we have now. We could go and spend, or let's say gift, the remaining 50 mil to be down at, let's say, 120 mil. That would be easy. And then we can say, okay, that is the starter money for the patch 2.6. And we carry on from there. So why is here Sunset Berries? Why is here Sunset Berries? We can sell Sunset Berries at Sacran's Plot. We are now at Monarchs. Monarchs is basically Pyro 2. And Sacran's Plot is Pyro 4. So question is, what is Pyro 3? Is Pyro 3 Bloom? Could be, should be. Yeah, we like the cave markers, we just don't have time for caves. But if we would be miners, we would go there. Sunset Mesa, you see over there is a ship. What kind of ship is that? Mustang? A Starfarer? Looks like an NPC. Yeah, did you know? I think it's Sunset Mesa. Over here at Sunset Mesa, you can refuel. Why the fucking fuck we can't target this bullshit? Another NPC? So UEX says Sunset Mesa has a commodity terminal. We want to have a check. What can we buy and sell here? Like we said, Monarchs. Looks like a desert planet somehow. We don't spend time here.
Shields online.
So what is this? This looks like a scrapyard. We have... Do we have an elevator over here? Did you see an elevator? I think over there is one, yes. Here is one. But no building. None of these buildings look like commodity trading buildings. What do we have here? Another elevator. Another building with the garage door. Just from the blueprint, it kind of looks like the one from Rustville. Is it Rustville? Question is, which one of these buildings might have a commodity terminal inside? Maybe this round one? Looks more like a habitation facility. Damn.
Docking initiated. Docking denied. Landing gear deployed. Landing complete. Engines online.
Now having a check on if we find a commodity terminal. If anybody knows where the commodity terminal is. Ooh, are you aggressive or what? If anybody knows where the commodity terminal is, you are invited to let us know. Come on. Okay, here's an elevator. Oh look, looks like a player. Yeah. Let's see if he destroys our ship. This is pyro. A lot of people think just because of its pyro you can do whatever you want, just because there is no somewhat of a legal consequence if you kill people or whatnot. Definitely no commodity terminal in here. It's getting dark, doesn't make it that better. Alright, ship is at 60. We make a left turn around clockwise. Nothing in here. Yeah, usually these buildings look all the same. So if there is a commodity terminal, then there is not the building that usually looks like And that made us thinking about maybe it's on the other side, the side we checked first. But there is also no building that looks like commodity terminal building. This is just the average store, not what we're looking for. '29 frame doesn't look like it, doesn't feel like 29. No commodity terminal here. Do we really need to Google picture search just to find out where the commodity terminal is? Damn. Yeah, these Drake cutters, they look like Christmas balls. Yeah, here is definitely no commodity terminal. Definitely not. Is that the last building we haven't checked yet? Or was that the first one? No. But here definitely also not. Interesting is we thought that we used the VTOL, but it doesn't look like as if VTOL is down. Damn, nobody knows where these commodity terminals are. Here we had been. Here we need to check UEX. Can we actually buy something? Yeah, there, when we look at, yeah, we can buy two stuff. Scrapping and CMAT. Compo. It's not true. It's not true. So let's have a check. If we find a commodity terminal, then this would be a joke. Let's have a check.
Takeoff complete. Shields offline. Landing gear raised.
So where is this scrapyard looking like place over here? Would be too big to walk. Nah. Come on.
Landing gear deployed.
Here should be somewhat of a round building. The garage building. This one, yeah, here it is. So now we want to have a check. Maybe you remember what we had seen before over at Jackson Swap. And we want to verify if that is actually a joke here. And we actually can. This is an absolute joke. Oh, Jesus Christ. We can buy scrap. We can buy CMAT. We're not really interested in buying CMAT, but it's always good to know if we need, especially when crafting would become a thing. It might be possible that you need to buy CMATs. And looking at the price, it's basically not that bad. We assume that you will make a profit of 1,000 per SCU. When you come by 600, that would be almost a 6 mil or something. And here you can see out of stock COM ports. And we just had been over there at Jackson Swap, and we can buy COM ports over there. That doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't even make sense for CIG. There are plenty of locations where you can sell fresh food. And here we see the increased price. It was before 19.7 something, and now it's 25. But when you pay more to get even fresh food, and you also get more for selling, interesting would be the net profit. If the net profit increases, okay. If net profit doesn't increase, then we don't have anything out of it, which is totally fine. But doesn't make sense. Okay, now look at that. When we go in here in the list and we say, select all and say COM ports. Oh no, come on. We say COM ports. We buy COM ports for 29. We can buy COM ports for 31. Okay. Okay. So we would make a profit of $1.6K per SCU. It is 72 SCUs. That would mean 720K profit. But we would need to track the beam 36 SCU boxes. No, we don't do that. But we don't do it now. But eventually we do it one time. Just to have an experience on how trading at Jackson Swap and Monarchs actually works. Because like we said, if we are not forced to do it, we don't do it. Okay, at least inventory worked here. Jackson Swap, Sons of Mesa, Monarchs done. This is Pyro 2. We can go to Pyro 3, and Pyro 3 should be. Bloom. Should we go to Bloom? No, we go to Pyro 5, Sacran's Blood. We go from the other ring to the ring. We want to get rid of these boxes. And Sunset Berries is actually quite valuable commodity that gives us a lot of money. And especially when we haven't paid for it, then even more. yeah, we just wanted to show you that navigation still sucks. We still can't fucking navigate. Yeah, see you around. We have some videos we want to edit, and we hope we can edit them before we have the patch drop, so it does kind of make sense, because we did the recordings in 4.5, and when it comes out during 4.5 period, that would be even